So today I'm going to be exploring adventures in alchemy. And one of the things that, well, how do I want to say this? Okay, so one of my favorite things to talk about, anytime I talk to somebody, I say to them, how's your apocalypse coming? And people laugh or they're offended or something, but it has come to, this is what I've been saying, right? Is like, okay, we're kind of in an apocalypse, right? And a friend of mine told me what it meant the other day. And so what it actually means, the etymology of the word apocalypse means to uncover, to unveil, and to restore, right? And so I'm thinking about, like, what does that mean for right now? What does that mean for this time of unveiling, uncovering, restoring? And, I'm looking at, here we all are going inside, metaphorically and literally, right? And the pressure of the energy and the pressure of the survival energies that are running on the planet right now, there's like a refiner's fire of epic proportion. And that refiner's fire is burning off and magnifying like what's no longer working. It's strengthening the energetic capacities, the spiritual capacities, the magic, because things in the physical dimension are a little topsy-turvy, for lack of a better word. Okay, so hold on a sec. Okay, so Marion, will you also try? Hi, Glenn. Hi. Hi, Anna. Thank you. Thanks for challenging me. Yes, I know I'm on the personal page, but I think I'm also on my okay, so it's on my personal. Hold on 1 second. Can you okay. In the new age. So so I woke up the other morning and this whisper came in, and the whisper was, what if everything you touch turned to gold? That was the whisper. How freaking cool is that? And previous days I had woken up, it's kind of, maybe some of you have experienced this, that are more sensitive, that even though you know or you have a sense that what's happening right now is really leading us to something amazing and beautiful, and we're tapping that future in a really beautiful way right now. When I feel the collective, and even some of my own survival energies that have been like surfaced up, and I go, blah, right? I think that's an invitation for alchemy. I think to transmute those energies into creation, transmute those energies into gold, so to speak. But the previous few days before that, I had kind of woken up in that crunch, right? And many of you might relate. I'm like, ooh, right? But that morning, Friday morning, I woke up with this whisper. And the whisper was, what if everything you touch turned to gold? And I thought, the next word that came into my mind was, that's audacious, right? In the time of Corona, how dare I? And I realized that, yes, that included financial flow, but it really is and was an invitation to alchemy, to turn on and up my capacities and my being in such a way that everything I engaged with had a catalytic conversion of epic proportion. That whatever I came in contact with could change. You guys following me? You guys get that? You found me. Yeah, I think I'm both on public and private right now. Facebook Live has changed their entire platform, and I can be tech challenged from time to time. So when new technology comes, I sometimes go, yes, audacious and naughty, Marion, for real. And so hi, Terry. Hi, I'm so glad to see you. So then I was like, okay, what does that look like? What does that mean? One of the things that I am aware of is that when our barriers are down, meaning we're not protecting ourselves against something, right? Because what do barriers do? They keep out shit too, right? So they keep in shit, they keep out shit, and they keep out good and bad shit. And one of the things that happens when we live a barriered life is we feel isolated, and the universe can't contribute to us, but also we cannot contribute to others in the same way. So if you're a healer and you're putting all these barriers to keep yourself from bad energies, right? You are also blocking the energy that can actually emit from you. And it can hamper your energy work, because in the energy of gifting and receiving, that works the best when there's no barriers, when we're barriers down, when we're vulnerably open, when we realize that we're more potent than any external circumstance. And when we're in that energy, in that light, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, I saw that Glenn was on here and he did a program called The Awakening with me. And the awakening is all about undoing all the barriers you've had up to life, your whole life. And it's so amazing to see what people look like at the end of 7 days, where they're just like, somewhere I have my before and after pictures, you would shit, because I look like a different person before and after. Because when you bring down the barriers, the light that's in can come out, right? When you have barriers, the first thing you do when you put up a barrier is you say, I'm less than this thing. So we go into, that's bigger than me and I'm less than, right? And so when we bring those barriers down, when we realize that at our core, at our essence, our being is more magic, more miraculous, and can alter, shift, change, create anything. Okay. Now, when I say that, can you feel it and do you know it? Right? So put in the comments, can you feel or know that when I say that? Can I outcreate Facebook technology glitches? You guys saw me at the beginning. There was a little bit of right, and that's what we do. That's what we do when something comes in and we don't understand it or we don't get it, and we're afraid of looking bad or whatever it is, right? And so at some point I had to go, wait a minute, like, what do I want to create here? And expand back out. And I figured some shit out when that happened, Why am I going through all of this? Okay, stay with me, you guys, stay with me, because it's that light that was coming out of my face at the end of the 7 days of undoing all of my barriers. That is the power that we are and that we have to change anything. And so the more of that we are, when we come to a situation, and I have to say that when I was going through that process, from that time through the next awakening, which I ended up being a very key role in that process, I was what they call space for the next awakening, which is I'm being the space of the energy and being the space of the transformation. I literally had I wasn't planning on talking about this. This is interesting. So we'll have to see what this has to do with it because this is new. Could be a shiny thing, but stay with me. So when there was like probably 2.5, 3 months where everything I touched turned to gold. And what do I mean by that? Is that everybody who came in my presence was transformed or shifted in some way, including me. So my clients were having godlike experiences. My little weekly life skills class that I was teaching universal principles in, people were having massive breakthroughs. It was like they had experienced an awakening in an hour and a half. And when I would touch the energy myself, would fall to my knees and just massive gratitude and tears. And for this period of time, all I can share with you is that it felt like I was living in a space outside of this time and space where all there was light, where all there was capacity and change and possibility and all of that. And it was magnificent. Now, cute little being that I am, I created an experience as being staff at the very end of that awakening, where I recreated my original shutdown, where I originally walled myself. And I believe I've spent the last 20 years trying to get back to the space of what I know is possible. And in saying get back to, that's a little bit of a misnomer because time doesn't really exist. And it's not, there's something probably even beyond that experience that's available. But I feel like I was given a peek. I feel like I was given a peek into a possibility for living that I don't know very many people who've had that experience. Just having light and love flow through. There was no barriers. I would stop people on the street and just say hi, and they would either be terrified because I was so present, or they would be changed. And every one of us has the capacity to change everything we touch. And to do that, it's imperative that we bring our walls down, that we be in this beautiful, let this apocalypse do its job, guys. Let it uncover you. Let it reveal you. Yeah, it's reveal. That was the other word I was trying to find earlier. Let it uncover, let it unveil, let it reveal you to you. Let it strip you down. Let it refine you. There is a Chinese parable that says, gold is not afraid of refiner's fire. You are gold. Do not be afraid of this refiner's fire. What I notice is if I let myself get pulled into a collective place, that I can twisty-loo pretty quick. Twisty-loo-hoo-ooh. Off we go. And that's okay. That's not wrong. It's part of the transmutational process. Because when I experience a reaction or a fear, that's my signal for that there's something for me to turn into gold. There's something for me to alchemize, right? So in looking at what are you creating right now? What are you touching? Who are you touching? Are you willing to have everything you touch turn to gold? Just kind of feel into that. Okay, notice what it brings up. And notice how, I think that if we really are in the matrix and we really are in a video game, then we have on some kind of stage that is very, very challenging because all of this looks very real, doesn't it? Good job, us. Good job, us, for us creating a scenario that looks so real that we would allow ourselves to get pulled into it all, into the milieu of it. And And it's okay. It's okay when we do think it's real. I thought it was real. There's been times when I've read an article, and felt all of the energy and feelings of everybody who read that article, and just felt myself be taken out by it. I've taken myself out by that several times. But that is the work right now. That is the magic right now, is like, ooh, like, what base element inside of us is being brought up in the refiner's fire to heal, to shift. And just feel into that energy of, are you willing to have everything you touch turn to gold? And then, what is required? What is required? Who do you need to be? What do you need to choose? What support do you need? What's required? And one of the first things that came when I asked that question was vulnerability. So one of the first things that came is that I have to get to that place where I'm out of my mind. I have to realize that what's occurring right now is not predictable. It's not figure outable. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. No clue. So where do you go? You go in. You go into the infinite part of us that is indestructible, that is greater than anything that's occurring in the outer world. What is it that you can be right now and give right now that can change everything in your world and in the world around you? Now is the time, you guys, to be freaking magic. Now is the time. Now there's a phrase they're talking about in I think it's Simone Millicent's in Access Consciousness. She's saying, now more than ever. Now more than ever, time to use the tools. Now more than ever is the time to be the leaders, the potency, the magic, the miraculous that we are. And if we're not bearing up, I don't know if bearing is a word. Is it a word? When we are protecting our energies from the outside world, we can't get out. It's a prison. So what if you could melt those like a butter? And what if it was okay not to know? What if it was okay that this wasn't figure outable? Because what if in that your magic is being activated? Okay, so I want to say a couple things about this. Some of you may have got my newsletter, and that's why you're here right now. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, what if, so we like to talk about, at least in conscious communities, we talk about magic a lot, we talk about miracles a lot. And those energies thrive in the unknown, in chaos, in mayhem. Whoa, right? So in the known, predictable world, magic can only really exist in the crevices, in the cracks between things, right? We see something out of the corner of our eye. Maybe it's a fairy, I don't know, right? Which is kind of fun and cool. But in the same way that the earth is getting a little bit of a breather from us polluting beings running around, right? Magic is getting a little space right now because we can't predict this shit. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We have no idea. We're a little nervous about it, and we can't anything. There's no way predict what's going to occur next. Well, this, boys and girls, is where chaos reigns, and in chaos, magic flourishes, miracles flourish. This is where our spirit is strengthened, because the physical dimension is no longer predictable. We have to go to somewhere else, beyond the mind, beyond strategies, and into our knowing, into our magic, into the miracle that we are, to then begin creating a future of magic and miracles, where we keep saying, let's create a future of magic and miracles. Well, how do you do that? You actually have to be it now. Not, oh, I'll wait and see with all my barriers on, and I hope that this whole dealio is going to turn out. And, hopefully I'll survive and my family will survive and all of that. Sort of a normal human response. And that feels like shit because it's not the truth. You and I are spirits, beings of infinite potency and magnitude. We are the miraculous. We are the miracle we've been waiting for. In my interesting point of view, this is occurring to ignite the magic. And if that's a word that's too esoteric for you, let's call it genius. Let's call it your gold, your grist. This is turning up the fire. It's burning the fear. It's burning the rage, the frustration, the shame, the doubt. It's burning it by bringing it first to the fire. Right? It's like this fire, this big ass fire is getting turned on. The heat is turned up. Like, think about it. Think about this. Every single thing is being magnified right now, right? If you're stuck in the house with a mate you hate, right? That's bringing that choice to light. It's like, wow, like, what have I been choosing? Like, whoa, like, whatever. One of the things that I'm noticing is that nothing has come forward for me personally that hasn't been an issue on and off for my whole life. It's just these remnants, that situation is turning up so that I can see it. It's firing it up so that I can see it and burn it and refine the power that I actually am. So we are stepping out of the illusion of the physical being real and stepping into the truth of our being as we are created and known in the universe, our power, our potency. It's my interesting point of view that there are of light beings that are supporting us. There's more space for the other side right now to support, because we're not trying to control everything. If, as human beings, if we're trying to control everything, it's a form of walls, by the way. I know what to do. I can figure it out. I got it, right? Like, part of the process actually is being naked a little bit. Part of the process is like going, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to take my business. I don't know what I'm going to do. Universe, show me. Universe, show me. And we enter into a dance with the intelligence of everything that is. And then that ability to gift and receive simultaneously gets turned on, turned up like. No kidding. All right. Hi, Josephine. Hello, Sophie. You feel that? Cool. Okay, Marianne. Okay, you are quoting me, say God. Okay. We can use tools even with this face algorithm stuff. Thank you. You helped me come to this timeline to help me with a head touch. You're welcome. Jennifer, I'm in rehab in the hospital, but may be released. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, what gold can you be? What can you turn into gold in the hospital? Um, what will it take now to bring more of us to the golden timeline? Together we rise. Yes. Yes. And we will be talking about these in our alchemical experiment. So hopefully, if all goes right, because I actually went to my public figure page and initiated the live, but I was trying to get it to play on my timeline as well. And so I think it went over there. But on my public figure page, I'll be every day for 7 days doing these experiments in alchemy. And this is just day one. And I don't know what the experiment's going to be. I'm going to be sharing with you things that I'm doing behind the scenes to to be all that I can be right now, to be a contribution to you, to me, to the planet, to the people in my life, because I know for sure when I get into the fear that I don't contribute in the same way, you know, and I take away from. I don't turn something into gold. I could take gold and turn it into poo, and that's what happens when we allow the parts of us that are on fire right now. If we allow those parts to lead, it could be very, very uncomfortable. Now, it's uncomfortable, and fires are uncomfortable. Refiners' fires are very, very uncomfortable. It's supposed to be that way because that's how we get turned into gold. And it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to have it all and feel it all, right? To be it all. But my invitation is to keep coming back to the question of who am I? Who am I really? Why am I here at this time? And what magic did I come to be? Who am I? Why am I here at this time? And what magic did I come to bring? Because if we focus on contribution, if we focus on community and connecting with each other, because this apocalypse is touching every single body. There's not one body that is not impacted and affected by this in some way. And so this is also about the awakening of the oneness consciousness, that we are creating this together, that we're actually creating the future. Please, please don't wait to see what the future is. Please join me in creating a magical future. Please join me in being the alchemist that you are, like returning to alchemy and the energetic alchemists that we are, and turning one thing into another. Do you have the Midas touch? Who has the Midas touch? Who has the Midas touch? Are you willing for everything you touch to turn to gold? Okay. Reveal you to you. Let it strip you down. Let it refine you. You are gold. Do not be afraid of the refiner's fire. Where are we shrinking from the fire that is going to reveal ourselves? Yes. I love this, guys. Where can we use the fire to our advantage and empowerment? There is no reference points for what is created. Yes. Okay. Magic. Yes. Hi, Anacentis. Hi. Yes. Magic does thrive in the unknown. Yes. Because in the known, that's the other thing, you guys, is that when you are creating your life or your business or whatever it is from there we go. From, I know, I've got this figured out. How much of the magic and miracles are you actually allowing in? This place of is a perfect place for magic to flourish, because this is where magic shines. It shines in chaos. It appears things from nowhere. When we can let go of our constructs It appears from nowhere. So I'm geeking out a little bit because Netflix has brought all three Matrix movies back on Netflix. So I watched the first Matrix the other night for the first time in like 20 years. And it is, you guys, you got to go watch it. It is so freaking relevant to what's happening right here, right now. And I was just remembering how the little kid taught Neo about the spoon. And he goes, you know, it's like the spoon is not a spoon, right? And that's how he was able to bend the spoon. And that was something that Neo kept saying to himself when he was like slowing bullets down and things like that, right? It's like in the Matrix, the fear is very real. When you actually step out of the Matrix and tap into the future that is possible, the future that that this wave of consciousness is bringing, and all the possibilities and all the magic and all the miracles that are possible in that. Like, it's when we get to that place and we know what we know, and we know that the fear in a certain way isn't real, even though sometimes we feel it ourselves and it does feel real, that we are actually moving. This is an organism that's moving forward into a new reality. And actually, magic can actually be here now in a way it's never been. Your magic can be turned up in a way that it's never been. And actually, it's sort of required, because a lot of the old tools and skills we have for surviving don't kind of work right now. The Matrix glitching out pretty good, and some of us are waking up. Some of us have been awake for a while, but then maybe we got lulled back to sleep for a bit. But now is the time. You are uniquely suited for what's happening right now, and you came with gifts and capacities that are required and relevant, and quite possibly you brought them just for this time and this place. So game on, boys and girls. So for 7 days, I'm going to come and I'm going to talk about shit like this, and I'm going to do some experiments in alchemy. I'm going to be doing some experiments in turning on and up my own capacities, your capacities. And today, the experiment is that I'm going to have you, because an experiment always starts with a question, right? So I don't know how any of this stuff is going to work out, but I do know that when we ask really good questions, really cool shit shows up. So what if everything you touch could turn to gold? This is your alchemy mission, if you choose to experience, if you choose to accept. This is your alchemical experiment today. And I will be back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. with a new experiment, or maybe a continuation of that experiment. But I'd like to know what happens when you bring your barriers down, when you say to the universe, show me, when you let go of needing to know and thinking you got it figured out. Because even some of our best tools and strategies right now are sort of spiritual override. We're trying to, I'm okay, I got this, which is better in a certain way than like spinning out, right? But what if you actually got real with the part of you that doesn't got this? It's like, oh God. Because when you get real with that place, that's when you actually open the doors to universal consciousness, to universal wisdom, to magic, to miracles, and to your own, what is in me that actually knows. I don't know here. I kind of know right here. By the way, you guys, you have to see this. My sweet friend, Brittany Rogozinski, created this t-shirt and she gave it to me. Look, don't panic. I know magic. And I think it's quite relevant for right now, right? Like, you guys don't panic. You know magic. You freaking know magic. And you've known it since you were a little kid. You've known it for lifetimes. You've known it forever. It's time to be it. It is. We've got to take it out of fantasy. But by the way, you know what? In a very ordered and structured world, really, there's not very many places for magic to thrive. The magic only thrives in the outliers, in the little cracks, in fantasy and fiction. But what if you could fully feel the power and the potency of magic beyond the fantasy, beyond what you've ever thought it was? So what if you could turn that on now and make some gold? You'd love that. Awesome. We're all genius of gold creation. I love it. There are total light beings out supporting us. Yes. The Syrians are jumping up and down now as I type this. They're so excited to see this. The fear bears can start to drop now. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, Katie has some gifts with, if you connect to the beings, the Syrian beings, she has a very sweet and powerful connection to them. If you would like to tag her for a reading, I've had several readings, and they're very profound. And it is a group of beings that feels very strong here right now. Some of you may feel other beings. You feel a bit of deja vu. Margie, you're welcome, Dee. Tell me about your deja vu. I know I'm probably 100 comments behind, but tell me about your deja vu. Sierra, I'm so excited and blessed to be alive at such an extreme time, such energy and destruction. I'm so excited for what we create after it. So much power. Yes. Atta girl. Woohoo! Sierra, own your destroyer, because we do get to destroy some things as we create some things, as we build new things. And what can we receive now that we've been unwilling to receive? Exactly, because when we go beyond the need to figure it out and to know and predictable futures, then we actually can receive what's available as our future. How cool is that? Okay. Thank you, Sophie. Thanks, Katie, for repeating the questions. Let's create a dance party. Woo! Let's do it. You know, it's fun because I realize that I have to do Zooms to do that, because I almost always have started my lives with music and dancing. And lately, Facebook's been kiboshing me and muting me because I'm using songs that have copyright. So we'll have to have our own little dance parties in our own little head on these lives. Okay. Hi, Amy. Who am I? Why am I here? Thank you. Leslie. Hi, Leslie. I haven't seen you forever. Brenda. Okay. Magic right now. Janice. Hi, baby. Hi, girl. Hello. Thank you. You guys are so fun. I feel the light and heavy energies very clearly. Okay, so what I want you to ask yourself is, what capacities is this refiner's fire trying to reveal to you? Because remember, apocalypse, we're in a revealing, an unveiling, an uncovering. And I believe that what it's uncovering is our power. What I believe it's uncovering is our magic. And what is possible if we let everything fall away besides that? If we're willing to, not that it has to fall away, but like, are you willing to let you be the power, be the magic, be the miracle that's possible? What could you turn into gold? Are you willing to turn shit into gold? Are you willing to be that magic? Are you willing to be out, like when you go out for your walks or whatever, and you're 6 feet away from whoever, and just beam that light out, beam that energy, and everything you touch, and everything you create, and every email you send. Are you willing to let the alchemical process that is you touch it? Are you willing to create Creating is a way of contacting life, right? So what are you creating right now? Where are you contacting life? Like, where are you generating? Because when we get in that habit of consuming, right? Consuming the news, consuming media, consuming like whatever it is, like trying to like consuming classes even in a certain way, right? Which none of this is wrong, but please, once you're done consuming and taking in, create, bring your energy forward. Even if what you're creating is, you know what, I'm going to go on a walk and I'm going to smile and look every single person in the eye. You know, that's a creation. That's an alchemical experiment. Okay. We've all had that experience of being in a crappy mood and some stranger smiles at us and it changes us. That's alchemy. When some base element or energy is turned into a higher frequency by the interaction of the components of the chemical constituents therein. There's a little science for you. Who knew that was going to come? What is the shit floating up not to be swept away but to contribute to us? And it's actually, it's like it's fuel. So it's not wrong, it's not anything, and it is floating up, but it's about us being present with it with all of our energy and space and consciousness that we can, and the light that we are, and actually going, okay, what can I turn into gold here? And that is really what an alchemist is turning the base elements into gold. So shit is a base element. What if you could turn your shit into gold? What if that shit floating up could into gold flakes? I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm an experimenter. I'm a magician and I'm an experimenter. And so I'm not really a magician that follows formulas. And any real magician knows that there's really no formula, right? There's presence. There's a willingness to use everything. There's a willingness to be the alchemical presence that turns the base elements, constituents into gold. Good job. Yeah, Anna, that's beautiful. Yeah. So it's like, what I love about what you just said is this is something I've been talking about in a lot of the groups that I'm running right now. And my clients is like, I'm like, be very conscious of what you're allowing to inform you, because the alchemy works two ways, right? I can take this energy and I can move it out, right? And I can impact, and that engages with me. Like I'm going to do alchemy with a tulip right here, right? So I'm coming in, I'm saying hi to tulip, it's saying hi to me, and there's just this sort of oneness that we can come to or get to in that engagement. So I'm going to let the tulip inform me right now. I'm informing it, and it's sort of this simultaneous thing, right? Of like, I'm letting it inform my senses. There's a certain touch or feel to it. There's an energy there. It's soft, right? So if you are watching the news, if you're listening to conspiracy theory, if you're all of that, right? That's informing you. That's a chemical, alchemical process that is forming your experience, forming your awareness, right? Inform is to form. So I love what you're saying, Anna, is like you're being very conscious about what you're allowing to inform you, right? Because what informs us is what then we have to create with, right? What informs us is what we have to create with. So it like really engaging with energies that turn us on and up, like beauty, right? With beauty, like how can you engage with beauty right now in a way that creates an alchemy of expansion for you, for your body, for the planet, gratitude, generosity. These are all chemical energies that we have to play with, and we're going to talk about them over the next 7 days. So I am not sure. I'm looking at some. Just wanted to make sure I got all the last comments. So if you guys have any questions, please put them down, because I'm going to bring this live to a close here. But I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m., then Thursday at 4, Friday at 10, Saturday at 4, Sunday at 10, Monday at 4. And I will write this. In fact, Marion, would you write down that schedule in this comment thread here? So we will continue the conversation. And who's in? Say I'm in if you're going to do the experiment called "We'll look for everything I touch to turn into gold." Who's in for that experiment? Who's doing it? Tell me, and I will see your zonking out. I know. Okay, dude. Hi, Christian. Let it zonk you out. Let yourself receive it, because Sarah, because I am being something. I'm gifting something. Hi, Merritt. Hi, Renee. I am gifting something that you now can receive and turn on or up in you and play with. This is my alchemy. Okay. So this zonky feeling you're feeling, there's change happening. Would you give it some space? Would you let the change occur? Okay. Everybody's in. All right, you guys. I thank you so much.